I want to tell you about a moment I'm not very proud of, but it taught me something important about yelling and why it does not actually help. One afternoon, my daughter spilled a whole cup of juice on the floor right after I had finished cleaning. It splashed everywhere. She froze. I felt something in me snap. I had already had a long day. I was overstimulated, and my words came out louder than I wanted. She looked up with those big eyes, not angry, not defiant, just hurt. And in that instant, my own voice echoed in my head, and I thought, this is not who I want to be. I knelt down, took a breath, and said, I am sorry. I got too loud. That must have felt scary. She nodded and leaned into me. No drama, no long lecture, just connection. That moment taught me something I had known in theory, but had not really felt until then. Yelling does not help kids listen. It only makes them feel unsafe. And a child who feels unsafe cannot learn or cooperate. She only protects herself. Everything started to change when I focused less on controlling the behavior and more on protecting the connection between us. Why yelling backfires? Here is what I have seen in my home, and maybe you have seen it in yours too. Kids stop listening. When we yell, their brain hears danger. Their body shifts into protection mode. The message gets lost. You might be saying something important, but the tone speaks louder than the words. It creates shame or fear. This does not lead to better behavior. It often leads to hiding mistakes, lying, or more resistance. Kids learn to yell back. They model our volume, not our intentions. None of this makes us bad parents. It simply means we are human. Yelling is usually a sign that we feel overwhelmed and alone in the moment. What works better than yelling? The things that helped me the most were not perfect scripts or complicated steps. They were small shifts that made our home feel safer again. One slow breath before speaking, even a single slow breath softens your voice and your body. Your child will feel that shift more than any sentence you say. 2. Speak softer than usual. When your voice gets gentle, kids naturally lean in. A soft tone pulls them closer instead of pushing them away. 3. Use one simple sentence. Long speeches feel like pressure on a nervous system that is already full. Short guidance is easier for a child's brain to absorb. You can try calm and clear phrases like, let us try that again slowly. Use gentle hands. Take a breath with me. 4. Name the behavior, not your child. Labels stay in their heart longer than we realize. You can help your children understand themselves instead of judging. For example, you are feeling frustrated instead of you are being difficult. You are having a hard moment instead of you are a bad girl. Small language shifts protect her sense of self while you still guide her behavior. One of the sweetest tools I have ever used with my daughter is the redo moment. Let me explain it. When things get heated for either of us, I take a breath and say, let us pause and restart. Most of the time, she takes a breath and says, okay. Sometimes she even smiles a little. Kids love second chances. It makes them feel respected and trusted. It tells them, you are allowed to try again. And honestly, we need second chances sometimes too. So, if you have yelled today, you are not failing. You are learning. You are human. You care deeply. Kids do not need a perfect parent. They need a parent who pauses, softens, reconnects, and tries again. That is what teaches emotional safety. That is what teaches love. Every time you choose a slower breath, a softer tone, or a redo moment, you are quietly rewiring both your nervous system and your child's sense of safety.